Joining us now here on Trackside Live from Las Vegas, Nevada. He has competed in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, the Nationwide Series, and the Camping World Truck Series. Please welcome Brendan Gaughn.
Nice. Hey, gang.
What's up?
How we doing, fellas?
What are you up to?
How are you?
Oh, I'm always hanging out. I need a cushion.
good.
Am I that short? Damn.
We all have it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good. That way I feel better if Elliot has it because he's really tall.
Yeah, we all have it.
Hi, Elliot.
Just
Hi,
sit
guys.
straight.
Hi.
Your mother's watching.
Yes, always have good posture, especially when I lose 40 pounds. It's easier. You don't lean
Well,
over as much.
I've noticed that. You've lost a ton of weight. What kind of got that started?
You know, we had that sponsor come on the car for a couple races, the Ab Circle Pro.
Yep.
And one of the deals was, you know, if it's a workout machine and you got, you know, one of the 5 fattest drivers in the sport, it's really not going to work very well for you. So you know, they wanted me in the infomercial and all this stuff, and we went, oh boy. So I had lost the weight using the Ab Circle Pro. My brother-in-law James became my trainer, and we lost 44 pounds using it.
That's awesome.
And a couple weeks ago, went out to Tucson, did the infomercial and the whole thing, and I had to take my shirt off for national television.
Hold the phone. You took your shirt off.
Yeah, I wasn't.
You know, and the thing is right now, the rumor has it, not only you take your shirt off, you are normally a pretty hairy individual.
I am a distant cousin of Chewbacca, yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
so I understand that you had your body waxed.
I may have had to go to the South Point and get a few waxing and manicuring things done.
And also a spray-on tan.
How does he know all this? Yeah, this is
my research.
disturbing.
I did
that
my
you know.
research.
It was rather frightening, actually. And the poor girl at the South Point Casino, there's the spa at the South Point. And so I called the boss there, Deirdre, and said, hey, I'm coming in on Tuesday. She goes, okay, well, I told everybody I was coming Thursday because all my buddies wanted to come watch and film this. And we get in there, and the poor girl puts the first little piece of strip on, you know, and she looks at me, and she's going, oh, God. She's just shaking her head, and she goes, I'm not going to lose my job for this, am I? I go, no, ma'am. And she pulls and she screams, Kelly Clarkson, as she pulls the first little strand for a la 40-year-old virgin. And I started laughing. She goes, it's going to hurt either way. I figured I'd make you laugh. So, hour and a half of trimming the...
Yeah.
This is a lot of information.
TMI for you?
Yes.
See, look what happens when I get back on trackside. You get way too much information.
Yeah, we've kind of missed having you. But
Yeah.
the one thing that I was thinking about earlier in the week, Brendan, is you've kind of went the full circle with your owner, Rusty Wallace, because when you started driving for Penske Racing, the 77 car, you and Rusty actually became pretty good friends, and you said he tried to help you a lot with your Cup car, especially testing, and now here you are. He's your boss and your car owner.
He worked real hard then. You know, that team was the first year of the Penske Jasper team, and there was goods and bads about it, but Rusty really, hey, look, me getting passed. At least I'm getting passed by Jimmy. But no, we worked real hard on trying just to get up to speed and stuff, and Rusty, man, we went to Rockingham.
You were just letting him
Go, exactly. Let him get his lap back. But no, I mean, Rusty really actually, he'd jump in my car and test for me. He'd let me jump in his. He really worked hard that year to get us up to speed and get quicker. And, you know, you look at some of the runs we had, we weren't half bad. The end of the year in the chase races, we were like 13th or 14th in points for the chase races. So, I mean, we got better as we went. Rusty was a huge part of that thing, trying to get my confidence up, get the team going forward. And then, you know, a few years, went back to the trucks, did our deal there. But in the end, timing is everything. And he had an open seat, and the South Point Casino was looking for some place to go. And, you know, Rusty finally said, come on, let's go drive this thing. So it's been fun. I enjoy working with Rusty. I enjoy being around Steve and the whole Wallace family. I really like them. And it's just been fun working for a family atmosphere with a guy that you like.
Brendan, I heard a radio interview you did earlier this season. You guys have a strong alliance with Toyota, Joe Gibbs Racing. And you said, hey, don't expect that we're going to come out of the box strong just because we have this great alliance. It's going to take us a while, and you hit it right on the head.
Everybody talks about, oh, they want to get to Toyota right now is kind of the thing you want in the Camping World Trucks or the Nationwide Series, because we're not a Cup team. We don't have all that engineering, you know, that Roush has, that Hendrick has, that Gibbs have. They have all that stuff in-house. So you got to make do what you can get. And with Toyota, they give you more engineering than anybody right now, man. TRD works hard for you. They get you a shaker rig, kinematic rig, pull down wind tunnels with rolling roads. I mean, they give you access to as much as they can. But what I said was, don't expect this to be a miracle pill. You know, you got to work at it. You can't just all of a sudden say, hey, look, here we are, we've got Toyota, we're going to be great. It's going to take time. You got to build the stuff, get the engineers in-house, get the knowledge flowing, get chemistry with the team and the engineers and the whole staff. And I said by May or June, we should be up there. And if you look at May or June, both Steven and I, the 5-hour Toyota and the South Point Toyota, man, we've been top 5, top 10 every week now, both of us.
Well, to kind of add to that, you run strong every single week. It seems like as the race goes, you get stronger and stronger. Here comes the 62 car, but man, it seems like the last lap, if there were 285-mile races or 195-mile races, your finishes would be so much better. And here's another look at Kentucky. But, man, what do we got to do to make that thing all the way to the end?
This was your race right here, I thought.
Well, I don't know if it was our race. We had the Ab Circle Pro back on that week, and, we were one of only 2 cars to pass Joey all weekend. I mean, he was strong, but I love my restarts, man. I take my restarts serious, and got him on the restart right there, stuck on the outside.
You made that high line work.
Made it work, yeah, until a lap later when I went a little too high. But, that's what's fun about this is we've been running great. I'm great at the races. I love being a closer. I love that, that crunch time deal. But there was a couple races in a row, man, where last laps were killer on me. We had, I think, 2 or 3 in a row where we'd be running top 10. Each race, we're in the top 10. And then, bang, we get hit last lap. I'm like, oh, man, this was starting to get a little disheartening. But as long as you have good cars, this, just like the rest of it. When you got good cars, and you make your own luck. If you're running the top 10 and something happens, hey, that's just bad stuff. When you're running 40th and it happens, guess what? You created that.
Yeah.
So we've been creating our luck. We've been running better. Toyota's on the racetrack are doing better. Chemistry's getting better. We just still got to get a few finishes that we deserve. We haven't got them all.
So what is it she said when she pulled that first piece of tape off?
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson. Remember 40-year-old virgin?
And that made it not hurt.
Well, no, I didn't say it didn't make it not hurt.
Larry, what did they say when they pulled? Never mind.
Break on that one.
You know why he picks on me? We have the same number of cup wins the last 2 years.
Wow.
It's the same one.
Hey.
You got a truck win.
How about that 5-hour energy Toyota today? Isn't it? I mean, what? Woo!
Same
Okay, somebody help, please.
Third-generation racer Steve Wallace already with 10 top 10 finishes in this 2010 NASCAR Nationwide Series. He also comes to Watkins Glen 7th in series points.
Here you go. I brought you guys a present. All right. Here you go, Elliot. Thank you, sir.
I stole his thunder. I took the first 2 boxes. He had them all for you guys.
Go ahead.
Appreciate that.
You know what?
There you go.
I never realized that you wind up being just like Darryl.
DWC well.
Taking everything, right?
He don't want to be called that. Here you go, folks.
Well, listen, while they're arguing over the energy drink, I want to look at you two guys and ask both of you something. And Steve, I think you can probably answer it even better than Brendan. Rusty Wallace Incorporated is in its 7th year. And you guys have had 2 good, solid years. You both finished in the top 10 in points last year. You're both sitting there right now. But Rusty Wallace Incorporated, 1 win in those 7 years. Is the man getting a little ready to go back to victory lane?
I'd say so for sure. But, the past 4 or 5 weeks, we've been really, really strong. At Iowa, I really deep down feel like I had a car that could win the race. We had a really bad pit stop the last stop, and that just killed us. But, we raced hard all night, but our cars are getting better and better. I just feel like as a team, we need to just be at just a 10th better because we're 6th to 10th every week, and just that little bit of 10th, man, we'll be better that way, So
it's just like Cup. A 10th is a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot.
Stupid, So.
And your dad was always a hands-on racer, when he was coming along. Brendan's already laughing. How much is he as far as being a hand-on owner? Like, how much does he want to just say, let me drive and fix it, or like when you're testing and doing stuff like that?
He's there all the time. We've tested a lot this year. He's
he jumped in the car. He jumped in at Pikes Peak.
And he was only 10th off the first lap. But, I think father like son, I'm real hands-on, real into my chassis a lot. And feel like that's, been paying off for us. But we got to work on these things, a little bit harder. We got to test more and just got to get this 5-hour Toyota in victory lane for sure, man.
And I'm not hands-on, so he really doesn't like that.
He likes scuba diving and all that stuff. I like to work on the race cars a little bit,
Well, when you mentioned that, Brendan, I mean, how much stuff are you trying to incorporate to be like a Cup team? And you guys get together after a practice session and debrief. I mean, creatures.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, you've got a parrot working in your house over there.
You don't give him none of this energy drink, do you?
You don't need it.
Somebody who has worked, with your dad, Rusty, was Buddy Parrott. Now you got Todd Parrott, working on your car.
Brad. We got Brad.
Brad working on your deal.
It's Rusty. He really does. I feel bad for Steven to a point because I know what it was like working with my dad, and it's difficult. And Rusty comes by, but Steven knows the chassis. They know that stuff. I don't know it that well, so I got to rely on Brad and our engineer Jason to take what I tell him and turn it into something. But after each practice, Steve today in the middle of practice, he got out of the car, he came over, was asking me about something. I came over asking them about stuff. We've been working a lot our cars now are very similar. We're doing similar setups when we start each weekend.
We're a lot closer than we have been, for sure.
And so we're trying to make it where we can use both cars for information, and we can see it. I think it was New Hampshire. Both of us were bad. Like, both of us just weren't good.
Either really good or really bad.
And we looked at each other. What are you doing? Same thing as you, numbnut. You know, it's like we both stunk. So I was like, okay. But now in Iowa, we were both really good. In other places, we're both really good. It's like, hey, we can, you know, he's doing a little spring here. I'm doing a sway bar here. So it works out well. When you're good, both are great. But, man, when one's bad, they're both bad. You're like, dang it.
If I wreck, he'll wreck. If he runs bad, I run bad. If I run good, he runs good. So
Both of you are numb nuts.
yeah, I guess so. I don't want to say it.
No, I'm not going to say it.